Hello. For this story of stuff video, I'll be focusing on the computer processing unit, the most integral part of a computer. Most of these are made by Intel, and most people have an Intel processor, so I'm not going to focus on the other brands like AMD, but the processes involved in manufacturing and selling them are virtually the same. First off, what's a CPU made of? The first required material is obviously silicon, but there are other metals like copper in there. But anyway, the silicon in it, which is most of the chip, comes from sand, especially quartz, and silicon is the second most abundant material on Earth. This, and because unlike other semiconductors, it oxidizes, which helps with insulation in the manufacturing of the circuit, is why it's widely used in making chips. Anyway, the sand is mined from beaches, sandstone, and other sources all over the world. This, by the way, is the primary sector of the economy because it's where you move a raw material and then take it to a manufacturing plant. But it has a real negative impact on the environment. The mining leads to erosion and the flooding of beaches, and it can ruin the habitats of marine and coastal life, like coral especially, because when it's mined on the coast, on beaches, it increases the turbidity of the water. So if there's coral nearby, the coral has a hard time growing because the water has sand all in it instead of on the bottom like it should be. But anyway, after the sand is mined, it's turned into a silicon wafer, which is a really thin slice of silicon. They're about 300 nanometers right now, but Intel has made different sizes. Intel doesn't make these themselves. They specifically focus on the manufacturing of the chip, not the wafer, and they buy these wafers from companies like Monsanto Electronic Materials Corporation. MEMC has factories in Taiwan, Italy, South Korea, Malaysia, and the United States. The reason they are where they are is because of site and situation factors. The site factors include the labor, land, and capital or monetary reasons, where companies try to maximize their profits by building a factory that takes advantage of the unique characteristics of the area, like cheap labor in a third world country. But the situation factors deal with maximizing profits using advantages of the location relative to other places, like having a factory near a sand mine to reduce shipping costs, or having it near a manufacturing plant for Intel to reduce shipping costs. But that part isn't really needed because after the wafers are made, they're rather light and are really easy to ship. So sort of after that, it becomes a footloose industry. But anyway, the first step is to separate the silicon from the sand and purify it until it reaches electronic grade, which is 99.99999% pure. I don't know why it's 6 nines, but apparently they couldn't get to 7. Once pure silicon is melted, then they're grown into single 100 kilos or 220 something pound ingots. The ingots are then sliced into thin pieces called wafers. Again, Intel buys these. The next processes, and they include removing a photoresistant layer, etching the new transistors, adding insulation layers, adding the copper connectors. The wafers are also electroplated. The rest of the CPU is assembled by Intel factories and assembly plants, like the one in Dalian, China, and there's also one in Oregon, and there are many others. Now it's ready to be shipped to stores. This is the tertiary sector of the economy. The CPUs are shipped to retail locations like Fry's and Micro Center, or sold online from retailers like Amazon, and Fry's and Micro Center also have online retailers. Another option is that the processor is included in a pre-built PC and sold that way. Anyway, now you, the consumer, you have the CPU now. And this is where the final sector, the quaternary, comes into play. This sector is software development, information technology, and anything that's really just developed on a PC because they all use the CPU. Alright, now the CPU's been made, the sand's been mined, they've been manufactured, they've been shipped, they've been sold, you have it, it's been 3 years, you need a new one. Well, you don't need a new one, but you're going to get a new one. Now you know where your CPU comes from. Thanks for watching.